Hi everyone, welcome to my next brand ambassador assignment. This time I've got a tutorial for you on how to use and decorate the new binder which is available from Graphic 45. I've used the new Autumn Greetings, which is the fall collection, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you the basics of decorating. Now there are other tutorials already on the Graphic 45 channel, but I'm going to show you how to make the most of your 12 by 12, which is what I usually do as well, and how to get full coverage across your pages with some nice simple pockets. But of course you can decorate it as you wish. But what these tutorials will be are how to get the edge to edge, and as I said, making the most of it. And as I said, just the basics of putting them together. So we've got various pages and just some nice simple pockets and photo mats. So nothing too taxing and challenging in this. As I said, you can then take it to the next level. And we're working our way through, and you can't see, but there are photo slots in this. I will do a better, more in-depth one, but just to show you quickly what is in this tutorial. So if you've got your binder ready, grab some of your 12 by 12 papers and we can start putting our binder together. And the last page. There we go. And some room for some tags. So there we are. Let's get going. So I'm ready to go with page 1, which is just a simple fold out or pull out page. And yours won't come with this jagged edge. I started decorating before realizing I needed to keep one back for filming. So here's the decorated one that I've got at the front of my binder. So that's why I've used this big topper image here. And open it up. And you can see how we're going to use our papers well, and it's going to go right across, and the waste we cut off is going to make these pockets for us as well. Now you may not be able to see, but there are actually slots cut into this paper so that you can tuck a 5 by 7 photo into there, tuck some things into there, view some of the ephemera on this one, and then on the back we've just got another photo slot. There are, you probably can't see them, these are the Cool Cats photo slot dies, so they're quite invisible, but they're there and you can tuck your photo in. So there's the 4 ones, but I haven't got the 5 by 7 photo mat to hand. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take these reinforcers that come in the kit, and I'm just going to reinforce my 4 holes. Now see on my left here, I've got my papers ready. So I've made the first lot of pages with the oranges, then moved over to the greens and browns, and now I'm going to finish with these reds at the end. So sort of gradually getting darker as we go through the album. Just one more. There we go. Okay. So I've got some of the patterns of solids. I've got then this ready pattern paper from the main pad, and there's quite a bit of the red inside this one as well, so that would go nicely with these papers. So I've got the border strips as well as backup, but it's also got these text on the back. So I've got 2 various patterns of solids really, but this has actually come from the main pad, and I just do like the text papers, as you know. So let's have a look at how we make the measurements and how we make the most out of our papers. So I've cut my papers for the pages at 8 inches tall. So let's start off with that. So let's cut this one. Eight. And then the pages, to get that edge to edge, I've done at 6 1/4. So 6 1/4. And you will then see that this one mats onto the main page, and this one fits onto the flap. So you really are getting the most out of your papers here. Now I want this to be a photo placement, so I'm going to use my photo slot dies. If you don't have photo slot dies, it's not the end of the world. You could just put a mat onto here, which is just slightly bigger than 5 by 7, but I just find these good. Now when I do this, I'm going to bear in mind I've got the holes there. So I want to not put it in the center, but off to the right a little bit, so that I avoid those holes. So I've just used my Platinum 6. The pages are small enough to fit through that. And what I will need to do is get a photo mat. So let me bring my binder in. And let me find a 5 by 7 photo mat. Here we go. There's one here. So you can see how it just slots in. And this is just slightly bigger than 5 by 7. So you get a nice cream border around your photo as well once you stick it on. But like I said, if you haven't got the photo slots, just get a piece of cardstock just slightly bigger than 5 by 7 and just stick it on. You're going to get the same effect, just that you can't change the photos then. So I'm going to put this in. And if you want to ink your edges, you would do so. There we go. So you can see how it's off to the right a little bit with me. And I'm going to, oh, right, first of all, I'm going to just put some glue around the hole. And then I'm going to glue around the edge of my paper, avoiding where the cardstock is poking through if you're using the photo slots. Otherwise, you're going to glue your photo mat down. Here we go. So I'm just going to line that up. And my other one, I'm just going to stick straight down. There we go. Now what's really good about this is the piece I had left over from cutting this out. We'll put it here. You can actually get 2 pieces cut from this using your G45 tag die as well. So you can actually make some matching tags using what is essentially the leftovers. So what are we going to go for? I think I am going to go... No, we're going to go with the patterns of solids, I think. Or should we go with the wording? Let's go with the wording. Right, let's have a look at this. So again, I'm going to cut this at 8. And I'm cutting a piece ready for decorating the back of this. So the front, if I remember correctly, was 6 1/4, wasn't it? Yep, 6 1/4. So we're going to cut a piece at 6 1/4. Now we do have this piece again, but that's going to come in useful on the next page. So this is now the back. No, it's not, sorry. This is the back. There we go. It is the smaller piece you want on this. And again, I'm going to use my photo slots. This is my 6x4, where's it at here? My 5x7 one. And this time I am going to place it in the middle. Sorry, so this is the front of the flap. There we go. And this bit, sorry, is the back of this one. So again, another 5x7 photo mat. There we go. Let me see if I've got any more pre-cut photo mats. I don't think I've got any of the 5x7s. Oh, hang on. Yes, I have. I've got one here. Just helps me with the gluing. If I've got these. There we go. I'll take the 6x4 out as well. There we go. Oh, this. I was telling you about the tags. That was made using the waste from one of the other pages. So again, just tucking this in. And gluing around the edge. Oh, before that, nearly forgot. I would be covering the holes. So what I've got here is a hole punch. Now I've taken off the top. It did have a little case there, but I've taken it off because then, oh sorry, from this side, I can see through it. So what I'm going to do is just centralize it and pierce. So I'm just having a look where this holes are. So I've just been able then to cover this, and the holes are still exposed. Just add a bit more glue. That was close. I nearly covered them up. There we go. And again, another 5x7. Now, of course, you don't need to be putting 5x7s. You can decorate these as you wish. Like I did on the first page, I used one of the journal cards. I'm just going to run it around, avoiding those corners, and glue this onto the front. Now, when I turn it over, I'm just going to use my hole punch again, and I'm going to line up where that hole was and press. So that is how I've got my edge to edge all done. But we do have this piece of paper left. We also have the one from this one. And what we can do with this is make a pocket. Now, I don't want to use the text because it goes that way, and the same with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from the plain pattern solid. If I cut the 8 in readiness, so that will come for one of my pages coming up. And I've got this left over then. So let's have a look at what I've done here. So it's an 8-inch tall pocket. So I'm going to cut my cardstock at 9 inches. and it's 3 inches wide, so I'm going to cut it at 4. So 4 by 9, which is exactly what we actually have left over, which is 4 inches. And 9 inches. So this is a nice, easy method for your pockets. You will need a scoreboard, and you place it in and you just score at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And it's 9 inches, so at 4.5, which is my halfway point here, I'm just going to score just down through my 1/2 inch and just a little bit further. That's going to be a guide for me for later on. And I've folded over the one where I did that 1/2 inch with, and once I find it, here we go. I've got a circle punch. I'm going to turn it over. I've got that for 1/2 inch there. So it's picking up on camera by there. And I'm going to turn my circle punch upside down. Mine's lucky I've got this little halfway, but just the top of the circle, go to the top of that score line until you start seeing the pattern paper again. So that's too far. I'm going to bring it back, and you can see I've gone down the 1/2 inch, and that middle or the top of the circle is in line with my halfway score line, and punch. So now when I glue this down, I'm going to make sure I get it nice and close. What we've done is reinforced the open edge of our pocket. So rather than just having one layer of paper, I've now got 2. And now I can just, as I normally do with my pockets, I'm going to take my strong double-sided tape and just place it within those score lines. I'm just going to miter these corners. So I'm going to cut to the cross, angle it slightly so that we don't bump into it later on. Because if I went straight across, there's a chance they would meet on this side. So I'm going to fold them over. So by just doing that, little sharper edge, they just don't meet, so you don't get that bulk in the corners. There we go. So we now have a pocket which all matches, ties in, and fits perfectly in there. So let's just take off the tape. I find it easier to turn it round so I can see both corners. There we go. And then there we go. So that is how I've managed to cover the entire page using just 2 pieces of my 12 by 12. And I still have pieces left over, but I've managed to get a pocket and cover everyone edge to edge. So I could add some more ephemera pieces here now if I wanted to. Not use the photo mats, as I said, the photo slots, whatever. But that is page 1 done. So I'm going to put this aside and we start page 2. So now I'm ready for page 2. So page 2 in the binder comes like this. So it's got this pull down flap. So if you don't like it coming down, you could just flip it over, and then on the back, then it flips over on the back. But what I've done with mine is I've just taken it and folded it back and just reversed that fold. Because I do like to have my flap on the front and keeping the back quite plain. So I've just changed the page layout just by folding it over and just burnishing it down. So on this one, I've opened it up. I do have a photo slots cut in here, but we've got these two pockets following the same method we had in that first one. So with this one, it was a vertical one. This time, it's a horizontal one. See, and then just one of the pieces of the ephemera by there. So we're going to recreate this. I've got some of my leftovers from page 1. So I'm going to have page 1 here. So this is the back of page 1. So I can have a think about. So if I bring that for the pocket, and then that could be the main. Or do we go for the plain? Let's go for the plain. Okay. So again, I'm going to cut this at 6 1/4. So this was already cut at 8 inches, but I want 6 1/4 now off it. So let's put page 1 out of the way for now then. Now that I know what I'm doing, or think I know what I'm doing. So that is going to go on the front, and we're going to have a nice pocket for that. And then that is going to go on the inside there. So before I start doing that, I'm just going to reinforce those holes. And on the back. There we go. And with this, I think I can glue this straight on. So I'm just going to add some glues to that hole. Just so I've got adhesion right around that hole. And around the edge as well. Make sure the pumpkins are the right way. And I'll just leave it for a second before I glue that. Now I am going to add a pocket to this. So if you wanted to cut off a piece of this, you could. But with this one, I quite like the fact that the paper's going all the way down. So when you see inside the pockets here, it does go all the way. It is proper paper coverage. There we go. So with my pocket this time, again, I made it 3 inches high, so I'm making the most out of my paper. So this is 5 3/4. So I'm going to cut it an extra inch, 6 3/4 this time. So 6 3/4 by 4. And we've got a little piece there, which I can cut some of the little ATC tags if I wanted to. But for now, I'm just going to do this pocket and get my score ring tool. So same as before, 1/2 inch all the way around. And then at the top, if I move it, it is 6 3/4, so it's 3 1/4. So 1, 2, 3 3/8. So there, that would be my halfway mark. So I'm just scoring it at the top of my pocket this time. So when I turn it over, I can just line up that halfway point. And just go up to the 1/2 inch. and press. So now I've got my little finger tuck spot thing. Do you know what is, has it got a proper name? There you go. And just press it all down. And turn it over so I can apply my tape down those 1/2 inches. Turn over, see if I can see a bit better on this side. Yes, I can see my score lines a bit better there. So I'm just cutting up to the cross and out, to the cross and out. Just tucking them backwards. And there's the pocket. So this pocket can be done any size, can be put into your albums, nice and easy. Before I carry on though, I am going to just pierce those holes. And attach my pocket like so. So that one, I think, is quite nice, just kept nice and simple there. So now we need to just decorate the inside and the back. So following the same measurements again. I think I'll go, keep the theme going this time. Yeah, I do like this pattern is solid. So again, 8 inches tall. A 6 1/4 for the back. And the other piece will go on the inside here. So I'm going to go back to my photo slot dies for my smaller one. That's not the 5SM one. This is the 5SM. That was the 6x4, which would have been fine as well. But let's get some big photos into this file. Okay, let me just take one of the photo slots out from there, which is already dried. And glue. So I'm going through this quite quickly now because you've seen me do this 2 or 3 times already in this video. So you can see I'm just using the same techniques all the way through. It's the same measurements. Offcuts from one place is going into another place. And again, this time the holes are going to be on the left. So I'm going to slide this a bit further right. Oh, sorry, left. The holes are on the right this time. There we go. So I need another photo mat, if I can take one from here. But you know, you can use tuck spots, more pockets. There are so many ways you can decorate this. I'm just showing you the basic measurements today of how to get that edge to edge look with your papers. That was the main point of today's video. I forgot to put glue around my holes. Hopefully it'll be okay. Usually I would let it dry a bit, but let's go for it. I love this red colour. There we go. So we've got now our patterns of solids with a pocket, a photo mat. So we just need a little pocket in here. So I've shown you 2 pockets so far. Again, the same method. So this is 6 1/4, so I need a 7 1/4 by 4 this time. Seven 1/4 by 4. And exactly the same technique again. 1/2 inch on all 4 edges. And it's 7 1/4, so 3 1/2 would be half of 7, just an extra 1/8. Oh, that's the bottom of my pocket. I want it at the top. 3 1/2, so 3 5 yeah, 5/8, 3 5/8. So let's get my punch. I can't quite see it, so what I'll do, if I put a pencil mark inside that groove, there I can see it a bit better now. So let's just bring the middle of my punch to that and punch it. And glue this flap down. And take my tape. And I've put the tape on the wrong side, haven't I? Let's just take it off quickly. Lucky I didn't burnish it down yet. So I can quickly just sort of rub it off. If it does tear, it doesn't matter because it's on the back. I think I must have just gone into a daydream then for a second. But not the end of the world. But here's where you want to tape on the front. And the bottom. Okay, and let me just cut to the corners. And burnish them down. So the more you burnish here, the flatter your pocket will lie. So don't be scared to give it a really good press. And place it on the bottom. And what I will need to do again is take my hole punch and just give this bottom one, just open it up first, there we go, is just pierce it one more time, just to make the hole inside that pocket. There we go. Oh, that's the, we don't want to see that. And there we go. We now have page 1, which opens out to the right and has a nice tall pocket and space for a 5x7 photo. You flip it over, we've got a 5x7 photo space. We've got a pocket here with this pattern continuing across, but then when you lift it up, you've got a bit more of that paper which matched the inside. So it's all tying together. So that's 2 of our pages down. 1 more to go. So let's put all this away and get the next one. And so here we are with the 3rd and final style of page that we've got in our binder. And it's just a pocket page. So you've got a pocket on the front and a pocket on the back. So the front and back are exactly the same. So I've already, just to make the video a bit shorter, I've already done my front and I've pierced the holes ready for putting it into my binder. So it's a nice easy one. So this isn't going to take long at all. So on the back, I'm going to have this lovely paper again, and I'm going to cut it again at 8. Then we've got that 4-inch piece, which is great for tags and things, and a 6 1/4. And that will then fit on the back, like so. Now I've already got my reinforcers in place, and this pocket is 3 inches tall. So I want to make the bottom of this just 2 3/4, but you can make it a little bit bigger if you want less of the cream showing. There we go. And more of the pattern continuing up. So we've got that, which goes there, and that is going to go there. I think that was a nice, easy one. Just gluing over that hole. So if you've seen my projects before, when I'm doing a pocket one, I mat and layer the pocket first, and then I do the main piece, because I got something to line it up against then. So that was a very, very easy page, wasn't it? So I'm just opening up my pocket so I can tuck it in and gluing it down. So you've got the pattern continuing all the way up, like so. And I'm just going to flip it over and just get my hole punch in. Get some of the glue got on it. So that's why I usually leave it to dry a bit first. There we go. And that is the last page done. And then it's just a case of, if you want to add some of the border strips, if you want to add more pockets, add some of the ephemera that you can get. So I've got ephemera pieces still left over, which I can now go on to decorate this. As you can see, lovely pages so far. But what you've also got are lots of the plain pages as well. Now, if you've cut these to the measurements I've done, you will find you've got quite a few pages left, which are fine for going on there if you don't mind having the cream showing. But because I've got the edge to edge here, it sort of jars with me. So what I'm going to do is just take some of my pattern solids and I'm going to cut 1/2-inch strips. So I'm going to cut it at 8 inches tall and at 1/2 inch. So I've got 2 here. And reinforcers. have to find a use for all those little circles which are left over. There we go. Let's do the back while I've got it here. There we go. Of course, because I haven't glued anything down yet, they're identical. This could be the front or the back, so I don't need to turn it back over. I'm just going to make sure I've got some glue around those reinforcers and just place the 1/2 inch down. Let's get that photo slot die so that we can get another 5x7 photo. Just put this in just to keep the shape, so it sort of trains the paper and gives me where I need to glue as well, or where to avoid with the glue. There we go. And now it will overlap onto that a little bit, but that's what I want, is that coverage like so. And then just turn it over and pierce the centers out. And I can carry on then doing that on all of my single sheets. So there we go. Let's pop them back into the binder. So this is the first one. So I've worked backwards just because I think I left the wrong one for the end. So this opens up that way, so that's going to be my first one. So you've got those leaves going through, so it picks up the leaves, and then we'll have the one with the lifting, and back to the leaves. So what I might do is put that one in there, so it's picking up the leaves all the way across, and then our divider piece, and we've got all these. There's quite a few of these ones. I can't remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you've got 6 of them you can then decorate as well using the leftover pieces we've got from cutting, and we've still got quite a few 12x12 sheets left. So there we go. That is my Graphic 45 binder basics covered. So you now know exactly what to do on how to cover from edge to edge, and having plenty of photo spaces and ways to use up the leftover pieces from your cuts. So hope you found that useful, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up and a comment. I'd love to read what you think of it. Again, you can go ahead and decorate the inside now, add all the little ephemera pieces, but you now have basics for decorating. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.